Hello, booktube. This is Aaron from Aaron Read a Book or Aaron Read a Book, and I'm going to do the mid-year freakout tag. What's it called? Yeah, the mid-year book freakout tag. The old booktube classic. Everyone and their mums has done this one, so I thought I'd give it a go. Let's get going. The best book you've read so far this year. I'm going to take this as the best standalone book because I have really enjoyed some series this year. And I'm going to go with Middlemarch, same as Shelley Swearingen actually. Um, yeah, this has been one of my white whales for many years. It's been sat on my shelf for years, and it's always been a bit intimidating because it's like 800 pages and everyone says it's hard. And it is quite hard to get into, but once you're into the swing of it, I just love this. This is the kind of book I love where it's got lots of little stories and it's following a community, really. It's a bird's eye view from this little bit English town. But yeah, um, seems to be a bit of a divider though, but I'm on the love it camp. Um, Best sequel I've read this year. So this would be Marking Time, which is the second book in Elizabeth Jane Howard's Caslett Chronicles, which I've talked a lot about on this booktube channel. But yeah, love this series. Quite similar to Middlemarch in that it's lots of people's perspectives. It's a big family saga and a quite extended family saga um, of just before World War II starts, and I think World War II actually starts in this one. Um, and it's following some teenagers, some older characters, the grandparents, and some very little children as well. Um, yeah, so some of the characters in this know they're going to be going to war, and some are sort of still traumatized from the First World War. Really, really great series. New release you haven't read yet but want to. I didn't think I had an answer for this one, but then I saw Gareth at Book Songs and Other Magic do this, and he pointed one out that I didn't realise had come out, which is Children of Memory by Adrian Tchaikovsky, which is the third book in his um, sort of Children of Time series. The first one, Children of Time, is where um, they send a um, like colony ship to colonize a planet, and the way they do it is they do it well in advance and they send monkeys but like rapidly evolve them. But in Children of Time, some I can't remember what happens, but accidentally instead of monkeys evolving, they evolve spiders. So when the humans get there after like Earth's been destroyed and they've got no hope of going anywhere else, they get there and there's just these super intelligent spiders there. And I'm definitely afraid of spiders, but you just end up rooting for them. You love the spiders, much more than the humans. So I'm a big spider fan now. The second one was octopus, I think. Octopus were like, it's very similar to David Brent's Uplift books. Like these different species get uplifted. So I don't actually know what the third one is about. So it'd be interesting to see what what animals he's chosen to go to. And I just he does so many smart little things in his books, Adrian Tchaikovsky, and he makes you think about sort of political systems and stuff and the way people communicate and things. It's really well done. Um, the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I don't think I have one for that. I tend to read old books and series that are already finished and stuff. Um, so I can't think of any new releases that I'm that interested in. Biggest disappointment. For this one, I'm gonna go with the Poppy War, which, uh, even though I'm an old geezer, I do go on TikTok, and uh, um, BookTok is pretty bad for recommendations, but I did keep seeing over and over again Poppy War top of everyone's lists for fantasy all the time. I thought it can't be that bad if everyone thinks it's the best fantasy book ever. Um, and it was utterly dreadful. I can't believe it was even published. Um, the author is very young, and she's come out with some quite controversial books since then. So I might go back and read some of her other stuff, to see what all the fuss is about. But it reads like it was written by a teenager, and all the characters are like super geniuses, but they do the stupidest things of all time, which is always annoying. Um, and I get the point is a bit like A Little Life, where the horror and the suffering and stuff is for a point, but it's just miserable. It's just a miserable book with rubbish characters and rubbish writing. Um, Biggest surprise for that, I'm going to go with the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Society. So I had seen the film of this, and um, I just when a book's sort of this popular and sort of, I don't know, I always expect it to not be that great, and it just seemed a bit wishy washy. But when I read it, I loved it. It was great, and the film's pretty good as well. But yeah, this it's quite an interesting story as well, because the woman who wrote it was sort of a really bookish woman, and this was the first book she wrote in. And I think she was in like her 70s or 80s or something, and she died before it even came out. So it's quite sad, but then it was a big hit. But yeah, just a really enjoyable book, and any book about bookish things is always interesting. It's about a sort of book club on Guernsey during World War II, where they're sort of cut off from the mainland, they're under occupation, and they sort of create this secret book club for clandestine reasons, but they love they love books, so it's good. Favorite new character and new author, sorry, or new to me. Again, I'm going to go with Elizabeth Jane Howard. I'd never read her before this year, and now I love her. Um, Newest fictional crush. Don't really have one for that. Like everyone struggles with this question. I'm gonna go with Murderbot. Actually, yeah, Murderbot. Me and Murderbot forever. Book that made you cry. Saddest that have you read? Again, I do sometimes cry a little bit, but I can't think of any this year that really hit me out. Some of the Elizabeth Jane Howard books definitely did at times. Book that made you happy. Um, I'm gonna go with. I forgot to pick it up. Oh no, I've got it here. Um, um, Psmith in the City. PG Wodehouse. Yeah, it's impossible for PG Wodehouse to not make you happy. He's just hilarious, and I really like the Psmith ones as well. So that's just a very funny book. A favourite book to film adaptation you saw this year? I haven't watched any book to film adaptations this year, but I have read some books that I've seen as films before. So I'm going to go with True Grit. This is even the film cover. I really like the modern version of True Grit, and I really like the John Wayne version. So great book, great film adaptations. Favorite review you've written this year? Booktube version. Favorite video if you've done this year? So I'm going to go with my 26 novels that won the Hugo and Nebula award, because I was it's something I've been looking at for like 15 years and doing as a mini project for like 15 years. So it was fun to make a video about it, going through all the ones I've read. It did make me realize how bad my memory is though, because every one I was like, oh, I don't remember anything about this. And the horrifying thing is, it's got like, that video is my only really successful video. It's got like 1,700 views, and it's just me rambling nonsense, which is quite funny, really. So yeah, that was a fun one to make. I think the most fun I've had on BookTube making videos is making the 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 thumbnails for tag videos. I just find it really funny to badly edit my head onto films and Star Trek and stuff. Um, yeah, I was giggling making those. Um, Most beautiful book you bought this year or received. So this year I decided my sort of jealousy of Mark Richardson's complete set of Patrick O'Brien Folio Society novels needs to come to an end. I need to stop being jealous and start joining the club. So I bought the first one. The problem is these are not printed by the Folio Society anymore. They're you can't buy them brand new anymore, but they were really expensive anyway. But I managed to get this one for 20 quid, and it's like most Folio Society books when you buy them on eBay have never been read. So this is the first. I think I'm going to get one every year for like 20 years because there's about 22 or so of them. So yeah, I've embarked on that. So maybe I'll get one for my birthday every year for 20 years. Hopefully they will be about 20 quid. But if you want to buy the whole set, it's like £1,000. It's mental. What do you need? Have I missed one? Newest favourite character I missed. Newest favourite character, I've gone for Brother Cadfael. I read the first one in this omnibus, A Morbid Taste for Bones, and I just he's a monk, but he used to be a crusader, and the mystery's set in Wales, and he's Welsh, and the way he sort of integrates himself with the locals by just getting drunk with them all the time I just was really funny, and he sticks up for the little new monks, the little baby monks. So I definitely need to read some more of those. And last question: what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I don't need to read any books, as everyone says, but I've signed up for the Women's World Cup read along thing that a bunch of booktubers are doing, and I drew Columbia. I think I've only read one book from Columbia before, which was Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I'm going to try and read only women because it's the Women's World Cup. So I've picked up this Delirium by Laura Restrepo. So the reviews and stuff for this say, unlike a lot of Colombians who obviously followed Marquez, she doesn't do magical realism, and I don't like magical realism really, so that appealed to me. So I'm definitely going to read this one. Definitely going to read some Jane Austen next month. Garb August. God knows what I'll read for that. I'm going to have to trawl the charity shops. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to read in the future. Like I said, everyone's done this tag already, so no tagging. But have a good one, BookTube. See you later.